This is the edition I got originally. Of course, me being a completist, I had to get the first edition. There's a third edition, but I don't like it.
Fantasy Games Unlimited, first edition, 1979.
Yes.
Okay, second edition,
1982.
Third edition,
I think 2010.
Okay, and what do you do with the forum? You run a forum to this day, 2023?
Yes. My forum is called the Villians and Vigilantes Forum. So if you go to www.villiansandvigilantesforum.com, I've been running that since, in one form or another, since 1995.
Okay. We are in a golden age of superheroes. There are Marvel movies, there are comic books, there are Kickstarters for comic books. People are making their own comic books. You yourself are making a comic book. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's going to be called Heroic Tales, and it should be launching in maybe 3 or 4 months.
Now, is Heroic Tales based on some original characters from Villians and Vigilantes?
Yeah. If you've played with me, you will recognize a lot of the NPCs. My character, the issue 1 is featuring the Patriarch. He's never been used in V&V. I made him up for the comic, but everybody else, the bad guys, all the other characters are made from my adventures of V&V.
And who's doing the artwork for that?
Renzo Rodriguez. You can check him out at Renzo Rodriguez on Twitter.
Okay, and you wrote the storyline, or the storyline was pulled from the V&V adventures you had in the past? It's
inspired by adventure. If you go to my forum, you could there's sessions. If you go to the House of Ideas, you can see all the story ideas. So you'll be able to spoil some of the comics if you read that.
Okay. We are here doing character creation for Villians and Vigilantes, and John will take us through how to make a character.
Okay, so this game, as far as I know, was inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, so it uses a lot of similarities. I've been playing this game since 1982, so I made house rules that are probably just as long, if not longer, than the actual rule book. So if you're checking out this and then following along with the rule book or watching it, you're going to see things are different. But it's to have fun, and I like this. So what we're going to do is going to make character creation. So everybody's going to roll 3d6 8 times and keep a list of that. So I'm not going to tell you what anything is. Oh, you need more dice?
He's got plenty on the table.
We got plenty on the table. There we go. The community dice. Filthy, dirty.
All right, so we're making a list of...
You're going to roll 3d6 8 times. And don't worry this finagle factors. I don't want anybody to have like 4s and everything. So there'll be ways to fix that. So you're just going to flat out take 8 rolls.
Oh, that's terrible.
That is the worst roll I've ever... I just said I don't want everybody to have 4s. Dave... Well, Dave...
Don't worry, it's his honor.
Yeah, Dave... Superheroes need sidekicks too,
Everyone needs a tragic hero who dies to inspire everybody, right?
Yeah, you're going to be the rookie that... They killed Dave!
I am Joe Everyman.
Let's get Dr. Magno. One thing I guess I should tell you... I call it significant differences after taking a statistic course. 9, 10, and 11 is average.
Yeah.
Okay? And every group of 3 is a significant difference. So 9, 10, and 11 will give you an average modifier. To show you. All right, so at this point, you need to think about is if you want to be a male, you're going to roll 5d6 and multiply it by 10, and that'll be your body weight. Body weight is super important in this game. Just so you know, higher body weight means you're going to be stronger, but probably slower. Lower body weight means you're going to have less hit points, but you'll be quicker. So I'm not going to tell you which is better. That's up for you. Now, if you're going to be a female, you're going to roll 5d4 and multiply it by 10. Yes, there are different... Okay, so everybody's got your weight down?
Yes.
Okay, and now this is the part everybody likes. You're going to roll 2d12, and I call them bonus points. Do you need a die 12?
Oh, I think I have my box over here.
Here you go. Here's a die 12.
This is a nice orange dice 12. These are my bonus points.
These are your bonus points. You got 9. Okay, so now...
This is why there's no fudging.
Okay, so now what your bonus points could be... So this is my theory. You make up Peter Parker before you make up Spider-Man, if that makes sense. So you're making up your civilian, non-powered character right now.
I think I made Peter Parker's neighbor.
You're his roommate.
Yeah.
I think I did. I'm 230.
Yeah, you're Harry Osborn over here. All right, so now what you can do, the bonus points are, okay, you could increase an attribute, one of those numbers, 1 for 1. Now, you don't know what they are yet. I'll read that off. You can increase your weight by 10 pounds per point. And you can gain knowledge areas per 10 pounds. But before we go with that, we're gonna pick your knowledge areas. So now everybody's gonna roll percentile dice. All right.
So I'm rolling percentage dice
Correct.
for knowledge. I'm going to go red high just to be different. And here we go. Very nice.
There's no fudge roll on this one.
What number is that there?
50.
50.
50. Agriculture.
Farmer.
You're a farmer.
You're a farm girl.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll farm
He's
girl.
a dairy maid. That'll be a superpower.
40.
Military.
I'm a military farmer.
Yeah, you were out in Nebraska. You joined the military.
Militia.
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 Oh, that is. You see, things come true when you start doing neurology. 18, Jimmy. What did you get? Commercial art.
Advertising.
I'm my own child. 72.
72. Psychology. Okay, so that's your knowledge. So now, these are your stats. Let me grab my character so I don't mess this up. And this is a big difference between the games. So, if you want to write this down, there's strength. I don't need to explain strength. That's how
Okay.
strong you are. Endurance. That's how healthy and tough you are. How long you could do things. You know what I mean? And charisma. Anybody who's played Dungeons & Dragons knows that that's the dump stat. I will say that there are no dump stats in my game. I will be using everything. I'm sorry, I'm clicking dice. Intelligence, agility, will. Will, I guess, was used as wisdom in D&D, but I think in a superhero game you really need will. And there's humanity. Humanity is how good you are. That's definitely not a dump stat. So I see that you got them on your sheet right there. And then wealth. Wealth is Dungeons & Dragons. I use these rules to do a fantasy game, and I realized that wealth
Humanity.
stat doesn't work in a fantasy game, but it works. You know what I mean? Spider-Man is always broke because he has a low wealth stat.
Yeah.
Tony Stark has a 20 wealth stat. You know, Lex Luthor has a 30 wealth stat. And you notice it only goes to 18. Well, the superpowers takes care of that. Okay, so now you're going to spend your bonus points. I don't care what you spend your bonus points on. That's up to you. But now you have a frame of reference. You can increase your stats by 1 per 1. Okay? So if you want to be... I will say this. This game, if you have a low agility, you're just not going to have fun. Because agility is your initiative. It gives you accuracy. It gives you damage. So when in doubt, increase your agility. I will
Low
say
as
that.
in sub-average or low as in not better than average?
If you put a 3 as an agility, you're not
But if
going
you
to
had
have
a 10, you'd be okay?
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Okay.
If everybody else has 37 and you have a 10, you're going to be
Sit around waiting.
yeah. So if everybody's around 15, it should be perfect.
What's like an average bad guy's agility?
Well, that depends. I have the bosses are these guys got stats in 30s. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Doctor Doom has got a 36 intelligence.
What about we come across a superhero bad guy or a supervillain, right?
Yeah.
Villain.
Yeah, those are called villains.
Those are called villains. We come across a villain. He's leading a small crew. He's robbing a bank, and he has a couple powers. Maybe he's like strong. Maybe he has some metal armor. He's going to have maybe a strength of like 15, 16, an agility somewhere in there.
I'm just going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm not going. I'm not going to give it. But the main bad guy is going to be tougher than. Think of a video game.
Okay.
It's funny because my last group of guys, they were all in their 20s and 30s, and they explained everything in video game. And I'm not a video gamer, so.
So let me ask you.
Let
me ask you a question. We're now applying these stats, but we don't know what our superpowers are yet.
No,
That's the point.
no.
That's
So
the point.
you envision you guys going to be super powerful.
Well, like
You
like
want I want my guy to be the gadgeteer, so you give him intelligence, but then you're going to get strength powers.
And the points
exactly.
is 1 for
That's
1.
my question.
How the points work?
I answered your question.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So are some of the powers, like just say I take a 10 strength, are some of the powers like increase your strength?
Oh,
by
absolutely.
20?
Absolutely.
Something like now I have strength power,
Yeah.
increase your intelligence.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. So if you had a high strength stat, you might become super strong.
Correct.
Okay, I got
And
you.
just to show you guys, it goes up to 90. I filled in up to 120 on strength.
Okay.
Can I,
Really? By
Wait, we
losing
are.
it?
We're turning
Yeah.
weight into strength.
You cost bonus points or you get bonus points?
If you're 230
yeah,
pounds
yeah,
and you
yeah,
reduce
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
to 200 pounds, you'll get 3 bonus points.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely doing that.
You just can't turn into intelligence. Oh, I guess you could turn into charisma, right? Lose a few pounds, you look better.
That's right.
Lose a few pounds, you get stronger or faster.
Yeah. You get a little bit more confident.
agile.
You got a little bit more.
All right, so
You make more money.
so I'm recording. I'll just ask you a few questions.
Sure.
So we're making characters up. We have our stats: strength, endurance, charisma, humanity, intelligence, agility, willpower, and wealth. We rolled a d12 as the bonus dice, and now we can assign those stats. Now you're saying we can reduce our weight. Every 10 pounds we reduce
Yes.
our weight, we get 1 bonus point.
Keep in mind, weight is a big deal.
Okay.
Weight is a big deal. So if you're reducing your weight, you're reducing how much you could carry. You know, how much damage you do with a punch.
Yep.
But you also might get the bonus point. So you could strategically do that.
All
Okay.
right.
And you also might get to be a little bit faster.
And we could now, with our bonus points, we could go 1 for 1 on stats.
Correct.
With our bonus points, we can increase our weight 10 pounds for every point.
Correct.
With our bonus stat, we can buy a knowledge area.
Correct.
Now, we did roll for a knowledge area. I have agriculture and military as
Okay.
part of my background, and I'm buying conspiracy theories.
Correct.
You said there's not an actual list of what we can buy?
No,
You just tell us what we want to flesh out our character.
Correct. Yeah, there is a list. I just use that because nobody, just to roll the 2. But the list is reality.
Okay.
You want to be a physicist? You're a physicist. You want to be a scholar? You're a scholar. You want to be an electrician? You're an electrician. You know what I mean? At this point, But I will say that you're going to be superheroes. There's 2 skills that are super important for every. You will die if you don't have these skills. One of them is called tumbling. So everybody just spend a point on tumbling right now. Otherwise, you will die.
A bonus point?
Yeah, to buy that knowledge area.
Oh, as a knowledge area. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that before I did all my stuff.
Oh,
John?
I didn't know you'd spent them all. I apologize.
Of course we're spending. That's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
All right. Anything else we should know, John?
That's it.
You said there were 2.
There's 2, but it's not that necessary.
Well, you just said we will die.
There's dodge. There's dodge. So you might want to be able to dodge, but you will die if you don't tumble. But if you don't dodge, you'll just get hit.
So what you're saying is tumbling is the superhero landing, and we're screwed without it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But those are knowledge skills, tumbling and knowledge.
Yes.
Yes. So you might want to get tumbling.
All right. So I dropped conspiracy theories for tumbling because I don't want to die.
Got leaner.
And I don't think. Do I need dodge?
You don't need it, but you do need tumbling. And I just wanted to because I want you to have fun. But. And you'll see
we want to have fun too.
And I'll explain how tumbling works when we get into combat. And I'll show you what would have happened if you didn't have tumbling. Okay, now at this point there's optional rules, and this is totally up to you. And nobody has ever taken me up on this. But you can pick virtues and flaws. So think of virtues and flaws as... Oh yeah, Jimmy took one. Yeah, I forgot. Jimmy loves to role play. Jimmy loves to role play, and my friend Paul loves hack and slash. So they're as different as night and day.
Did you take a virtue now?
No. I asked Jimmy to stay at the same pace as all of us.
What was in your last game? What was your virtue?
Oh no virtues. Flaws.
What was your flaw?
He was just basically an asshole.
Okay.
Nobody liked him.
Okay.
It was like
Yeah.
it was like crass,
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah.
Poor social skills, I think you called it.
and it was like the maximum amount, like -4. And his name was Gravy, and he was the cook on basically a fantasy pirate ship.
We played like a Pirates of the Caribbean style adventure, so pirates with magic.
And he kind of
And Gravy
looked like
was
the Hound
was the
from
cook.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And everything out of his mouth was.
And he was a great character.
What was his humanity? Was it low?
Like 6 or something.
It was
like that.
fairly low, and then
But it was the highest of the players.
It got interesting in the adventures because at one point he came up against the Jesuits and just felt so bad about being a horror, he actually became a Jesuit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like role playing, and there's actual bonus experience points for role playing, and we'll talk about that later.
Can we gain knowledge during the game?
Yes, you can. Yes, there's something called training. When you level up, you get better and better and better.
What age do we start at, and what year is it?
It is no. It's 2001. 2001 because
So September 11th. Is this the real world, or is this a made-up world?
realish world.
Realish world. Okay.
There was a couple of world events that when we start playing, when we make up the characters, I'll explain the real world events. That happened.
How
you need to know because everybody knows them.
So, taking some of the other superhero movies, how many heroes in general are in the world? How much do people know about it? And is there like superhero insurance? Are buildings getting knocked over? Are aliens invading?
This is still the infancy of superheroes.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay.
Superheroes came out in 1996. 1996, something happened.
Oh, wow.
That
I like
superheroes superheroes came out. However, the general public doesn't know that there's been superheroes forever. But now, the secret kind of escaped, and now normal people are becoming super. It was a kept like Illuminati type secret.
So taking a step back with Gravy over here, right, and the pirate ship, that was a superhero that was during a pirate time.
Same world, but nobody had powers.
Gravy was just a regular guy.
Right here, after we made it,
Was he?
they were
stopped
all
right
regular
here.
guys. We stopped here. We never
No
went
powers.
to the superhero process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we also
Oh, you just used the Villians and Vigilantes rule set.
yeah we use the villains of it, and I also have a fantasy world. Like, I hate the multiverse because it's just hey, let's get another Scott, let's get another Roy. There's no consequences, but I do have a version of the multiverse. But every world is completely different. So that, and I'll explain that
Okay.
based on
Who knows what?
the cosmology of the world. Some worlds, like this world,
But that's
magic
game
is tough. But in a fantasy world, magic is easy. Then I have another world where magic is so tough, it's basically Gamma World. If anybody knows, it's
Yeah, I saw all the Gamma World rules.
so I use
a great
V&V for a Gamma World game, for a Pirates game, for a fantasy game, and a superhero game. This world is just right. So there's just enough science fiction and there's just enough magic for a superhero game.
So superheroes have only been on the news for about 5 years.
And they're the
that we
hottest
know
thing in
about.
the world. People go to clubs and raves and they pretend they're superheroes. They wear capes. Street gangs now are wearing motifs. Like there's the raccoon gang that dress with masks. There's you know what I mean? So like it is the in thing. So if you were to walk down the street dressed as a superhero, if you were 19 years old, they would just think you're a trendy kid. If you're 60 years old, they would be like, you're trying to be young and that's kind of creepy. You know what I mean? But right now it is super cool. All the superheroes are endorsing products because it's the new cool thing.
So it's 1996 superheroes come out. It's 2001.
Right.
What age could we be? Because obviously,
Whatever age you want. You pick your age, you pick your height.
So whatever happened in this world, the superpowers came about where it's affecting children, adults, teenagers. Like I'm 50 years old, all of a sudden I'm a superhero. So something happened in 96
Right.
to make me a superhero.
You don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Okay, that's fine.
You don't know
That's
yet. And
It's nice to have the
and none of the
concept, though.
superheroes are actually talking about how their origins. So that's why I said we're skipping your origins until you know more. So we're just going to say you're superheroes, and then if we play again, we'll delve more into your origins.
All right. So what's the next step after?
Okay, so now I said virtues and flaws. So now you could pick things like the way it works is if you pick a 4-point flaw, you'll get 4 bonus points extra that you can throw in.
Now, is this a list or just come up with
You
something?
make it up. Like Jimmy had bad social skills, but you pick the modifier. You pick how bad it is. Like you could stutter. Is that bad? Or you bad
Hard to
personal
roll.
hygiene. These are things that exist in the real. Like you don't have a tentacle growing out of your foot. You know what I mean? This is, are you autistic? Or you could also have a virtue. I'm good with computers, but that would cost you bonus points, and you'd have to reduce stuff.
I'm going to take...
Usually people take a couple of minor flaws to get more bonus points, but that's up to you. This is entirely, this is you making a character, what you envision.
I'm going to take a 1-point flaw
Of
so I can buy back... I'll tell you what it is. So I can buy back my conspiracy theory.
Sure. What's your flaw?
I'm a bad driver.
Okay.
Just a bad driver.
And you better believe if we play long enough, that'll come in. That'll come into account.
It's coming.
So you write that down. Bad driving -1, and that's how we do it. If anybody else, I'm not going to tell you to pick flaws or virtues. That's up to you.
Okay. So I'm going to take a flaw.
What's your flaw?
I'm a notorious philanderer.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a 3-point flaw and I'm going to put it all into wealth.
That's fine. That's really interesting.
Okay.
That is really interesting.
You choose
Up
the
to 4
point?
points.
Yes,
Yeah.
you pick how bad it is. So this guy's I like that. And Roy, what's your charisma over there, female Roy?
My charisma is a 17,
There you
but my humanity is only a 9.
And she can't drive. She might need a ride home there,
That's
Scott.
it. I can drive. I can drive just fine.
But you keep finding her on the side of the road with like a flat tire to keep the curb.
No, it's the Lamborghini from The Wolf of Wall Street. When he goes, no, the car's fine, and you look outside and it's just a total wreck.
All right, so now, does anybody need an explanation of what your stats are?
Why don't you just go through them quickly?
Okay, well, strength, everybody knows what strength is.
Okay.
All right, intelligence, how smart you are, and rule of thumb is if you add a 0 to your intelligence, that's your IQ. Okay?
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That would have been good to know before we did the stats, but that's fine.
Well, like I said, 9, 10, 11 is average and everything.
Right.
So, like a 90 IQ, 10 IQ, or 100
Yep.
or 111 IQ is statistically average.
I guess so, yeah, 100,
Okay.
110, right?
All right,
So
and then what? So humanity is basically how good you are. Okay,
140
And-
is genius.
and
140 is
yeah,
genius.
140 is
Okay.
genius, and agility is just hand-eye coordination,
Dexterity
reflexes.
in
Yeah,
D&D.
yeah, dexterity in D&D.
Yep.
Will is your strength of mind. You're stubborn.
Will
How it is your mental defense, and it is your ability to focus on tasks.
short for willpower.
Short for willpower,
Yes.
but I don't say willpower because there's an actual power called
Oh, okay.
willpower, and that confuses people.
Interesting. So
like
will and
wisdom.
willpower.
Will,
Yeah.
will,
Wealth is how
wisdom.
wealth you are. What am I missing? I'm
Humanity.
sure charisma is I use charisma for two things. It's not just your appearance, and I'm sure anybody who plays Dungeons and Dragons, like nobody's going to argue that William Dafoe isn't charismatic, but he's not the best looking guy. Same with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're watching my videos, but these guys are charismatic.
Probably not a problem.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln, but these guys were charismatic. So, but also, I include it for like emotional stuff. You know what I mean? Like somebody's trying to
Manipulate.
Flanderer over here is trying to emotionally manipulate
Charisma
you.
versus will.
Yeah, things like that. So keep
Oh,
that
fair
in mind.
enough.
All right. So
Very good.
anything that I might have left out that you need? Weight, everything.
I think we got it.
Humanity you might want to describe because that's one of your added ones, right?
Yeah, humanity is how good you are, and it's also your conscience. So, all right, I might as well explain humanity now. So, Scott is walking down the street. He's Hero Man. Hero Man is chugging along. Building's on fire. There's a woman outside screaming, "Help! Help! Help!" You look at her. Right then and there, I'm going to say make a humanity roll. And whenever I don't specify a dice, it's die 20. So what is your humanity?
10.
All right, so roll die 20. Well, roll a d20.
All right. 7.
7. And what is your humanity?
10.
Okay, so you succeeded by 3. If you rolled under your stat, you succeeded. If you rolled over your stat, you failed. And so while we're playing, if I say, make a roll or whatever versus stat, you'll tell me, I don't care what you rolled, you told me what you succeeded by. So you say I succeeded by 3.
Got it.
So now I go, okay, you succeeded by 3. What do you do? And if you say I helped the lady, you're going to get 300 experience points. If you say I got to get over here, Aunt May needs the medicine, I got to deliver the medicine, and you ignore your consciousness.
Or there's a hot dog stand.
Yeah,
And
that might even be a harsher
I
penalty.
could have stopped the robber who was going to get in the elevator who
Oh,
later shoots
no.
my uncle.
You got to go there.
Yeah.
Or the Flanderer he's got to get out with
You got an
Raquel
appointment.
Welch. How's
Well,
that?
you know,
for
The
lady.
next question is how pretty is she?
Right. He's got a role play, and I do like role play. So if you say no and you go about your business for any reason, not only do you not get that experience, but your humanity goes down by 1.
Oh, okay.
So sooner or later, that's why villains have low humanity.
Yeah.
They
But
just don't-
I also give you,
Somebody become a
I also
villain.
give villains humanity rolls too, because they could have a change of heart. Now, here's the thing: if you roll a 1, you get a point of humanity, so your humanity goes up. If you roll a 20, what did I do for a 20 on humanity roll?
You're probably going to lose. Yeah.
I think you're
You're
going to
gonna
lose 2.
Okay, but
No,
now,
if you roll a 20, you're going to lose 1 no matter what you do.
okay, but now if I failed that roll by 3,
Then you do whatever you want with
no penalty.
Your conscience isn't bothering you.
Okay.
But if the higher your humanity,
So
the more you got
the
Jiminy
lower,
Cricket.
The lower your humanity, the more likely you're like, whatever, I don't care.
Right.
Got it.
So at this point, I might as well tell you there's 3 ways you could lose your character. If you die, and I'll explain death later after we stat up our character.
Just like real life.
Right. If you die, it's hard to continue playing. It's hard to continue driving.
Well, depends
It's
which
hard to
characters.
continue flying. If you're dead, If your humanity ever goes to 0, you're a raving lunatic, and I take
Don't care
over your
about
character.
anything.
I take over
Oh,
your
that's
character.
almost like losing sanity in Call of Cthulhu.
Correct. That
Oh.
it's inspired by Call of Cthulhu, and I also made this up because I'm not going to mention names, but I had players who were superheroes who just like to blow things up. You know, so it's a way of rewarding being a gun. You're a superhero, and yes, I have played supervillain campaigns, and it only works if everybody's a supervillain. Don't get attached to your supervillain character. Unless you like role playing in jail. And the last way is if you go metapsychotic, and I'll explain that later. Okay, it's not time to bring that up. All right, so now everybody got your virtues, everybody got your flaws.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer everything to your character sheets, and we'll math out everything. Okay,